there's relationships that I've had them type of situations with where I just, okay, we good, but we can't be as close as we were before. It's just different, right? I promise you, there's no hate in my heart. There's no anger. There's no animosity. There's no any of that stuff. Like, I'm at peace with it all. I just want you to know though, that I'm gonna love you from a distance, right? And that's okay, y'all. That's okay.
To some, boundaries are just placing limits. To me, it's where the limitless things begin.
Hello, 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 and thank you for tuning into the Boundaries and More podcast with Jess Abraham. I am your host, Jess Abraham, your favorite boundaries coach, and today's episode is brought to you by Joyful Styles. Joyful Styles is a lifestyle brand that provides premium quality apparel that promotes joy and positivity. Joyful Styles believes how we approach a situation matters, and choosing to be joyful makes all the difference. You have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So get your Joyful Styles apparel at joyfulstyles.com. That's JOYFULSTYLEZ.com. Let's go. Let's go. Look, for those of you who have not yet taken that boundaries quiz, I suggest you take some time out today, maybe even right now. Just pause the episode and take the quiz right now. It takes about 2 minutes or so of your time. Take that boundaries quiz. Let's see where you are and how you progress, right? So take some time out today, right now, to take that boundaries quiz. The link for you is in the show notes. However, I can send it straight to your phone. Just text me. Text me the word boundaries to 210-801-9153, and I got you, okay? Look, and then for those of you who want to take it up a notch, who want to put some things into place right now, look, I have a guide for you. 5 things about boundaries I wish I knew sooner, y'all. I want to shorten the learning curve for you, okay? 5 things about boundaries I wish I knew sooner. That link for you is in the show notes. However, of course, I got you. If you want me to text it to you, I got you. Just text me the word sooner to 210-801-9153. And I got you. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all, I'm excited to get into this episode today. And man, it's good stuff. It's good, y'all. Let me tell you. So, getting right into it, right? So y'all see navigating with grace and forgiveness. Navigating with grace and forgiveness, y'all. Look. So after the release of last week's episode, right, dealing with the repeat offenders, I had someone hit me up and was like, "But Jazz, what are your thoughts on grace and forgiveness when it comes to these boundaries and things of that sort?" And I'm just like, man, let me just say this before I continue. I absolutely love when people hit me up after specific episodes or after episodes and comment about it, ask me more questions about it or things like that. Like, I love when that happens, y'all. And right now, before we even get into the thing, if you want to be doing that and be in a space where you can ask those questions, do those things, I mean, you feel free to hit me up on Instagram or things of that sort, right? The at Boundaries and More podcast. But if you want that real personal, super connection, y'all, I will encourage you to join the Boundaries and More community. The link for you to do that is in the show notes. However, you can go to community.boundariesandmore.com and let's get this party started, y'all. It's some real practical things. In addition to the things I'm giving you already in the podcast, things of that sort, right? But you really get a real personalized experience when you're in the community, y'all. So take some time out today, right, to click that link in the show notes. Or again, or go to community.boundariesandmore.com and join the community, y'all. Okay. Yeah. So again, getting right back into this, right? I told you I'm excited when people ask certain questions and or give me their thoughts about certain episodes and things of that. So I just love continuing the conversation, basically, right? So yeah, so the person asked me that, and then I'm like, okay, cool. I gave my response and things of that sort. And I was like, man, yep, I'm gonna do a whole podcast episode about this, right? Because it's just I just love it. I love the question. It sparks something extra in me, and I'm like, yeah, and I just love it. Okay, y'all. So again, getting right into it. When so last week, if you haven't listened to the last week episode dealing with repeat offenders, go back and listen to that episode, because some of the things I will reference is in that episode. So just take the time to go listen to that. But similar to when you're dealing with repeat offenders, it depends on who they are and how you may handle the situation and things of that sort. When it comes to grace and forgiveness, when people violate your boundaries, things of that sort, it could all depend there as well, right? Again, how I go through, I'm gonna give y'all some real life examples from my life. When I put these things in place, right? When I'm looking at the grace and the forgiveness, I actually want to do a spoiler alert and talking about the forgiveness piece, like period. Anybody who ever violated my boundaries or anything that, so they're all forgiven. Period. Right? There's no animosity. There's no I don't have any hate in my heart or any of that stuff. Yeah, so everybody's been forgiven, period, right? That's the least I can do, right? Is just forgive them, right? So so again, that's that spoiler alert. But I want to tell y'all, it's about how you handle and move forward with the person or people who repeatedly violate your boundaries. All right, those repeat offenders or those who just seem like they just don't get it, right? Now, before I go into my examples, I really want to tell you all, when this is how I see it, right? When you are consistently and constantly giving people chance after they violated or violated your boundaries, or they're running these repeat offenders, right? They just seem like they don't get it. In my mind, you've already given them that grace period. Right? You've given them grace. That's how they become repeat offenders, because you've given them grace. You didn't just cut them off or just stop it at the first sign, right? You might have mentioned something, you may not have, but when they repeatedly do it and you've allowed that, right? Now you've given that grace, right? So I want to put that out there. This is how I see that. That is grace. You've been hanging on because certain relationships, you're like, oh man, you want them in your life, or whatever the reason is, right? You've been given grace. And then we talking about a little more forgiveness. So look, y'all, I want to tell y'all, like, again, around this thing, and I'm so excited to get into the content and the examples that I'm like getting ahead of myself, and I want to slow it down a bit, because I want really, really to understand and to let you all know that it is okay. It is okay when the people we love and care about, we likely or naturally give them higher levels or different levels, more grace and forgiveness than other people, right? It's just natural that we do that, and that's okay, right? So I mean, there's people we love and care about. You some random person who violate your boundaries and whatever, like you might just set it and forget it. Like you might just forget about that person, right? And that's okay too. Trust, it's plenty people that I'm sure I've forgotten about. I don't even, yeah. Anyway, that's another story, another topic. We're not going to get into that, but I want to let y'all know, right? Somebody I love and care about, right? I've mentioned this on multiple episodes, different episodes, and I talked a little bit about my mom. My mom had this period in time where we weren't talking, right? I felt my mom was just disrespecting me and violating my boundaries and things of that sort. And then we just wasn't meshing in that season, right? So there was a season where we ceased to communicate. But like when it came to the forgiveness piece of my mom, right? Well, when dealing with my mom, I after we stopped talking for a while, the willingness I had, my willingness to open my life back up to her was because of her changed behavior. Right? So like, all right, y'all, we have these people in our lives that we love, care about, and different things of that sort. And we give them these second and third and fifth chances and things of that sort. But then it comes a point where we may need to cut them off or whatever the case may be, right? When for me, I allow people to continue to be in my life, and or cut them off and allow them back into my life once I see that change behavior. Yeah, if you're not changing, if you're just saying stuff and you're not actually doing stuff, not doing stuff to back it up or really showing me that you've changed and you're different now, you want to approach our relationship differently, you can't get back in. I forgave you for all the things, but when you can get that, like, get back close to me, that intimate space with me, like, I must see your change behavior. Without the change behavior, I do not believe you. Period. If you're not doing something different, why? What really? I said, why? It's not logical to me to accept you back doing the same old stuff if I'm not seeing the difference. I'm just saying that for me, right? Now, once I open my life back up to my mom, now, that change behavior happened. It was great. Now, we did have a hiccup along the road, right? There was a point, and I'm like, okay, now I had to like nip it in the bud real quick, like immediately when it happened. Like, well, I thought, but listen, Linda, listen, listen, ma. Like, we nipped that in the bud right then, and I still remember, right? When I told my mom, and I broke it down in a way that was very, in my eyes, very direct, because that's just how I am. And I believe it was even respectful, but she took it as however I don't think she saw it in a way different way that it caused us to stop talking again or things of that sort. No, but she did say, I remember her saying to me, texting me back after me, saying all these things. But she texted me, she's like, well, you don't have to be so sassy with it, but okay. I'm just like that. And I promise you, ever since that day, we have not had any issues. We've been developing and growing, and we have a great relationship now. Like, I'm just saying, that season again was necessary, right? Necessary. And I want to put this out there because I hear it and I just dropped in my spirit. I want y'all to know forgiveness is like a blanket, right? But I believe there's levels of forgiveness, right? There's forgiveness to a point when my mom, I allow her, like, open up my life back to her and things of that sort, and that was just wholeheartedly like forgiving, right? And I believe, and then we just improve to be better. I believe you can wholeheartedly forgive, but you also can limit communications and things with people even when you wholeheartedly forgive them. And I'll get into that because I promise you, this is real life stuff, right? Stuff that I've dealt with in my life and things that I've worked through and things of that sort. But look, like, I want to also let y'all know another experience really that I had. And this one is obviously super duper close and near and dear, right? We talking about specifically, people that we love and care about, and things of that sort. So early in our relationship, right, my wife and I had the absolute biggest, worst argument, disagreement, whatever, ever in our relationship. So much that, like, it was so early on that we weren't even married yet. Like, this was early on in our relationship. And man, y'all, I'm telling you, I felt that my wife, she violated this very, very, very specific boundary I had for this specific time. And I was pissed. Like, I was so upset. Oh my gosh, y'all. I was so upset with her that I, like, oh man, and to make matters even worse, right? To make matters a little bit worse, it was doing like her birthday time and things of that sort. And I had planned, oh my gosh, I took months and I had planned this amazing, beautiful getaway for her birthday and things of that sort. And man, I'm telling you, so I was so upset, but I tried to still go through with some of the plans because I took time to plan all these things and, whatever. And so we still left home to go to this other location for the birthday, right? The birthday getaway and things of that sort. And we went there, y'all. When we got there, it was just, I could feel the tension the entire way there. And then once we got there, it was just more tension. I was just so upset. I was so upset with her, man. I really thought we weren't going to make it because I was, in my mind, I was so done with this girl. I was so done. But yeah, so I tried, right? We went to the getaway. I tried and it wasn't working, right? I was just too upset. We were upset because she trying to plead her case, and I'm just like, no, like I wasn't trying to hear it at all, y'all, at all. So, but I'm telling you, we went and we spent the night at this hotel and things of that sort. But yeah, we checked out early the next morning. Like, and I was just ready to go back home. Like, literally, we went all the way there to go all the way back home. Like, it was, I just kidding, y'all. Like, I was dealing with it and I was just so angry and so upset with her. And then, um, but it's like ultimately, obviously, like I said, that was early on in our relationship. And I thought, right? I thought we weren't going to make it. But here we are, married many, many, many years later. And it's like, man, obviously there was a level of forgiveness there that, yeah, that made sense to me because this is someone I absolutely love and care about. And I just, yeah, y'all, oh, man, if y'all understand how much anger I had in my heart and things of that sort, it was bad for business, y'all. It was bad. Like it was bad. I'm good now. We good now. Everything's great. I mean, my wife and I have a very extremely, extremely blissful marriage. We are happy. We are good. But it was like, man, it was just this thing, right? Don't be violating. It gets to me like, cause I'm telling y'all, I'm the type. I will admit. All right. My name is Jazz, and I admit, I admit, I don't have many issues cutting people off. I don't like. It's a little bit easier to me to cut people off than for some people, right? Some people, like, it's like the worst thing in the world to them. They get heart palpitation, their heart started beating fast, they start having these experiences in their bodies that they don't even know what's going on, but they get so scared and all these different things. Me, man, I will cut a person off like quick. Like, it is, I love and care about you. I'm gonna talk to you and do all these different things. I'm gonna let you know what's up, whatever. But it's like, at the end of the day, if it's not working out, I am not afraid to cut you off. Okay. But again, like I want to mention, right, with my mom and even with my wife, the thing that changed my mind, right? Because I was, man, I can get set. I can get set. My mind is set on something. I could go all the way. But look, the thing that changed my mind again was change behavior. I wasn't trying to hear my wife trying to plead the case. I don't really care about why you did what you did or whatever. Not necessarily in that moment. You knew it. We talked about it way before and you did it anyway. Right? I got to a place, truthfully, years later where we was able to sit and actually talk through this. Like, okay, this is okay, maybe I want to let you know this is why I made that decision back then, and then etc. Like, okay, maybe if you had broke that thing down to me back then, I could have had a little more leeway and been a little less upset. We would have had an amazing getaway. But it's okay, right? Things happen and life goes on. But I want to stress this. I open my life up to the people, back to the people I love and care about, is because they had changed behavior, right? That is the key, y'all. It matters when they change their behavior. Now, sometimes people can change their behaviors and you already, oh, that's cool and all. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you. But we still we just can't be what we used to be and things of that sort. And that's okay too. There's relationships that I've had them type of situations with where I just, okay, we good, but we can't be as close as we were before. It's just different, right? I promise you, there's no hate in my heart. There's no anger. There's no animosity. There's no any of that stuff. Like, I'm at peace with it all. I just want you to know though that I'm gonna love you from a distance, right? And that's okay, y'all. That's okay. It makes me think about this next example that I want to give out from my life, right? This is this is my real life, y'all. Look, y'all. So, um, I had this close friend once, right? It was a while ago, really long time ago. At this point, what year is this? 20. But anyway, this is it's been a while. But I had this close friend. I was young. Um, College, I believe, like early on or about to graduate, something. Anyway, I was in college. I know that. And but I had this close friend, and I shared, right, and I had this business idea and stuff. I get these things, and I shared. I had this plan, I had this vision, and things of that sort. And I shared this idea with this person that was my close friend at the time, and and particularly I shared it and we were discussing because this person had a particular skill set that I needed to help me bring this vision to life, right? Like, yeah, they're about that life in their space. And I'm just like, that just ain't my ministry. That's not the talents necessarily that God gave me. So I discussed it with this person so that they can help me bring this vision to life. Like, with particularly, I would just go a little bit, particularly with these graphics and things of that sort. Like that just ain't my thing. But I went to this person because this is what I knew. This was way back when, before I don't even think there was a Fiverr and all that other stuff you can go now to get people to assist you with all that. And if it was, I knew nothing about any of those platforms that we have now that you can get people, you can pay people to help you bring your vision to life. But anyway, so I shared it, all of the things, and yeah, so this close friend at the time took my idea and pretty much ran with it. Like, literally ran away. Not like ran, not took my, I didn't, it's not that I wrote my vision, made it plain, and they took it and ran. We're not talking about that. Ran with it. They took my idea and ran with it for themselves and changed the name and things of that sort, but it was the same idea, concept, whatever. And they did their thing with their own stuff, right? Man, of course, that was not okay, y'all. That was not okay at all. But it's like, again, no hate, no anger, no whatever in my heart, because I just don't believe in that. I'm gonna get into why I don't have these things and believe in having this aggression and all these things in my heart for people and things of that sort. But I want to finish telling you about this person. So things happen. I'm like, oh, and when they launch their stuff and all these things, I'm congratulating them and all this stuff like that, looking to them, even helping them make it better, right? Saying, make sure you got this in place, that's in place, whatever. Like, that's just the type of person that I am, right? This person truly did wrong me, right? And even with that, I forgave wholeheartedly. And I'm just like, I mean, I did my thing years later, but whatever. Um, when they did this, I mean, again, I helped to make their brand better and make sure that they were doing things legally and all these different stuff. Make sure they had certain things in place so that they could, have longevity in their business and not get in trouble and things of that sort. Like, it's just, that's what I did. Like, help them put their stuff in order. But it's just like, man, but at the same time, we never was as close as we were then, right? We now it's like, oh, I care about you and all that, but from a distance, right? I limit my contact, extremely limit my contact with this particular person. And it was just like that's what was necessary, right? I forgave, but then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need to love you at a arm's length, right? Right. Or more. just think state's length or something, whatever. But it's like there's levels to it. Like some people, I'm willing to change behavior to open my life back up to. Some people, not so much. We just keep it moving. Like I care about you, and I wish the best for you, things of that sort. But we just can't be cool and kick it no more. Like, and it's okay, right? That doesn't make you necessarily a bad person overall. You may have done something bad or a bad thing particularly, but doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. We good on the us being close still, right? It just relationships like that, y'all. It's just like, man, it's pretty messed up, but it's okay, right? It's okay. God got me. Okay. So let me say this. One of the things for that particular situation, I'm like, I really, really believe, and I've told y'all this multiple times, I'm sure here, but I believe what God has for me is for me, period. And nobody can take that, steal that, do whatever with that. And it's just like the thing is, when I brought my vision to fruition, like, man, it was even bigger and better than my initial and original idea, right? Because God is so good. God is so good. Y'all, look. Anyway, that's another story there. But y'all, I want to tell y'all and put this in there before I get out of here. Really, why I believe so much in giving that forgiveness. Again, we give grace. I believe grace is on the front end. I do believe grace is on the front end, and but throughout the entire time, is we always forgive, right? We forgive. You don't need to forget it if you don't want whatever. Sometimes some things I just forgive and forget, because I might forget a whole person, like just whatever. But that's another story. So listen, y'all. One of the things that I just I don't hold that anger in my heart and whatever, no matter what a person has done to violate this and that, right? Is because I do not believe in giving other people my power, right? I believe when you hold on to this hate and anger and all these different things towards these other people, they have power over you, right? These people are living their lives not even thinking about you, but you just so upset and you're this and that. And meanwhile, they just like living their best life, right? And where does that leave you? To me, for me, that makes zero sense in my life. So I refuse to hold on to any of that because uh, they're not worth it to me, right? No matter who they are, like no one's worth my peace, my joy, my happiness. Like it's just not worth it. So I don't hold on to any of that stuff. I promise you, just free that stuff up out of your body. So if you're someone and you're just holding on to anger and things from different people who may have hurt you in the past, no matter the extent of the hurt, things of that sort, just think about that. I want you to take some time out today to think about that. Write some stuff down, write it all out, release it, let it go, burn it, do all these different things. Like, come on, you got to get that up out of your spirit, because it's going to cloud all the other things that you're doing and the things that you want to do, the vision and businesses and relationships and all these other things that you want to bring forth in your life. You got to get that up out of you, y'all. Forgive. If you want to forget, forget. If you don't, but forgive, right? Forgiveness is not necessarily for them, but for you, right? You matter. What you want matter, right? I tell y'all this. I mean this stuff, right? I'm telling you. I told you about you having the power, right? Joyful Styles believes we have the power, and it's time to embrace it. So I want y'all to go out and embrace that power, right? Grace and forgiveness is for you. You look at it like that. Or however you want to look at it. Like I got some additional views and how I see with the grace and forgiveness, but that's we can talk more about that in the community if you like, right? Again, that's the Boundaries and More community. Take some time out to join that boundary Boundaries and More community. The link for you is in the show notes, or you can go to community.boundariesandmore.com. Let's continue this conversation there, right? Maybe we talk about a personal situation in your life, and let's help you navigate and get through that, right? With your boundaries, right? With these better boundaries, building these better boundaries, doing your thing. Now, look, y'all. All right, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to elaborate a little bit on that. Truth be told, this went a little bit longer than I thought it would. So I'm going to keep it right there. I'm going to keep it right there. And let's, y'all, just think about it, right? Let's do it. Let's do it for you. Do it for the people that you love and care about. If you don't want to just never do it for you, do it for the way you're going to be coming off to other people. And not necessarily caring about that. You know what? I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just not, because that's a whole nother episode, another, yeah, we can be here another however long. So yeah, let me just stop right here, y'all. I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate y'all being here, just listening. And I really pray that this episode resonates with the person or the people who really needed to hear this, and that we free you up, because that's my mission here. Man, I believe that, and you deserve a life full of joy, peace, and happiness. Heavy on the peace, okay? Heavy on the joy, okay? Look, y'all. All right, I'm out of here. Y'all. Thank you for tuning in. So, if you have not yet, take the time out today to follow us on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. Again, that's on Instagram at Boundaries and More Podcast. And I want you all to go out today, and have an amazingly beautiful day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and be back here next week for more Boundaries and More with Jas Abraham. Talk to y'all then.